Welcome to today's Explainer. You know, if you deal with network infrastructure at all, you already know that keeping physical security devices secure and compliant, well, it's a constant, exhausting battle, right? For the longest time, there's been this really frustrating gap. A gap between the strict lockdown security protocols we apply to standard IT hardware, like, corporate laptops and servers, and the way we manage physical security devices, like IP cameras or intercoms. But today, we're unpacking a massive leap forward that literally bridges that gap. We're diving into a huge announcement from Axis Communications regarding their operating system, Axis OS 12.10, and their pioneering integration of the EST standard. If you manage device security or massive network deployments, stick around because this is a total paradigm shift that's going to make your life significantly easier.
So, let's start with the big question. How do you manually manage X.509 certificates across hundreds or even thousands of devices without breaking strict IT policies? If you've ever worked in IT or network administration, you know this pain all too well. We've all seen the nightmare scenarios. It's that one network administrator desperately trying to track expiration dates on some chaotic, color-coded Excel spreadsheet from 2015. Or maybe they're relying on a faded sticky note slapped onto the side of a server rack. Generating signing requests, copying them over, authenticating and deploying new certificates, doing all of this manually? It's just an incredibly tedious, highly error-prone task that drains massive amounts of time and energy from your highly skilled IT professionals.
And the crazy thing is, we put up with this management headache because X509 certificates are the absolute bedrock of network security. They aren't just nice to have, they are absolutely mandatory. Think of them as the essential cryptographic keys used to encrypt HTTPS communication, right? They ensure that sensitive data and live video feeds can't just be intercepted over the network. But beyond that, they're heavily utilized to secure 802.1x network communication. They act like a digital VIP passport to authenticate a device before the network switch even allows it to connect. And the real-world stakes here are high. If a certificate lapses, that critical security camera goes completely dark, or a switch just blocks its network access entirely. Because the consequences of a compromised or expired certificate are so incredibly severe, IT departments have to apply really strict lifetime policies. You can't just install a certificate and forget about it for 5 years. Nope. They have to be continuously rotated and renewed to maintain a hardened security posture.
Now take a second and consider the sheer scale of this challenge. 1 million. We aren't just talking about updating a dozen web servers in a nice, climate-controlled rack. According to the source material, Axis OS is currently running on more than 200 different network products, which translates to millions of deployed devices worldwide. To put that into perspective, think about the basic logistics. If it takes an IT pro even just 10 minutes to manually generate, deploy, and verify a single certificate, rotating those certificates for 1 million devices would equal roughly 19 years of nonstop 24/7 manual labor. 19 years. When you multiply those strict IT lifespans by the massive number of physical security devices across an enterprise, you are looking at an impossible logistical nightmare just waiting to happen.
Okay, so what's the fix? Well, the solution to this massive bottleneck is essentially a rescue operation for IT teams, and it's called Enrollment over Secure Transport, or EST for short. Published as an open network standard by the Internet Engineering Task Force under RFC 7030, EST is fundamentally designed to completely automate the request and continuous renewal of these X509 certificates. By taking the human element entirely out of the loop, literally just removing it, EST means IT administrators can finally step away from those chaotic spreadsheets. They can get back to high-level network strategy. The devices themselves seamlessly handle the lifecycle of their own security credentials. This ensures they stay perfectly secure and fully compliant, without requiring a single click or manual intervention from an admin. It's a real game changer.
But here's the thing you need to know. EST isn't just some proprietary, closed-off tool that a single company dreamt up in a vacuum. Not at all. It is an open, fiercely scrutinized standard developed within the highly respected PKIX working group. What gives EST such immense credibility in the tech world is its pedigree. It saw early and significant contributions from heavy hitters in enterprise networking. We're talking leading engineers from Cisco Systems and HPE. Because it was forged by these industry giants, EST is incredibly battle-tested. Actually, it's already the trusted, widely used standard for automating certificate management across corporate laptops, enterprise servers, and a massive variety of complex IoT devices. Now, for those of you who have been in the IT trenches for a while, you're probably comparing this to older methods in your head right now, specifically SEP, or the Simple Certificate Enrollment Protocol. SEP has been around for a long time, and, to be fair, it served its purpose well when networks were a lot simpler, but it is fundamentally the old guard.
As cryptographic demands have scaled up and networks have grown infinitely more complex, SEP has really struggled to keep pace. EST, the modern enrollment over secured transport, is the necessary evolution. It was specifically built from the ground up to address the glaring security and scalability shortcomings of its predecessor.
So why exactly does ESCP leave SCEP in the dust? Well, first off, it introduces native support for ECC, or elliptic curve cryptography. ECC is absolutely crucial because it provides significantly stronger security, but with much smaller key sizes, which is super efficient for edge devices. Second, EST enforces strong TLS-based certificate authentication, specifically mandating TLS 1.2 and 1.3. This ensures that the actual conversation happening between the device and the server, to request the certificate, is highly encrypted. This prevents any interception or tampering during the enrollment process itself. Finally, it features vastly improved automatic renewal capabilities. It effortlessly streamlines the entire life cycle, automatically rotating those certificates based exactly on the intervals defined by your IT department's strict policies.
But honestly, the true power of this implementation is the plug-and-play narrative. IT teams don't have to build a new siloed certificate authority system just for their security cameras. No way. EST allows these edge devices to natively speak the language of your existing centralized IT infrastructure. The sources highlight that these devices automatically communicate with major enterprise-grade applications that companies already rely on. We're talking Keyfactor EJBCA, HP Aruba Networking ClearPass Policy Manager, and Cisco's Identity Service Engine. Your physical security hardware simply plugs directly into the robust, highly secure IT ecosystem you've already spent years building and refining.
Which brings us to a massive milestone for the physical security industry. With the release of Access OS 12.10, Access Communications becomes the very first in the physical security sector to support the ESD network standard. This represents a fundamental paradigm shift. By integrating this IT-centric interface directly into their operating system, Access is finally treating security cameras with the exact same IT rigor as a corporate laptop. They are giving IT teams the definitive tools they need to efficiently manage network cameras at scale. And in doing so, they are completely eliminating the archaic manual certificate labor that used to totally cripple these massive deployments.
And EST isn't just a one-off feature. It's really the latest addition to a broader philosophy. Access is systematically tearing down the wall between physical security and standard IT infrastructure. Just look at the broader capabilities of Access OS to see this cohesive suite in action. You've got device SBMs providing deep software supply chain transparency. You have OAuth 2.0 integrating seamlessly with Active Directory for centralized identity management. There is robust native support for strict network authentication with 802.1x and Layer 2 encryption utilizing MACsec. And of course, you've got your standard operational tools like Remote Syslog and SNMP for comprehensive auditing and health monitoring. Every single feature is designed to ensure these devices act like first-class IT citizens.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the crippling logistical headaches of manual X509 updates to the elegant, fully automated rescue operation provided by the EST standard. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to ask yourself, how could eliminating manual certificate management transform your own IT infrastructure? Think about the hundreds of administrative hours you could instantly reclaim. Think about the human error you could completely eliminate. And think about the massive, undeniable boost to your network's overall security posture when cryptographic certificates are rotated seamlessly, automatically, and continuously without fail. It's a fascinating evolution in network security, one that is officially setting a brilliant new standard for the physical security industry. Thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive explainer, and keep an eye on how these automated, open standards continue to reshape our technological landscape.